What's up with y'all? This Lonnie Spiritual. Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna be talking about good and evil. Do they exist? Alright, do they exist? Alright, matter of fact, pause the video and put in the comments right now. Do you think good and evil exists? Alright, and then I'm gonna tell you my answer. Alright, you put it in the comments. Alright, so my answer is, you probably already know this, what I'm gonna say, but no, good and evil does not exist. Alright, if that's your first time hearing that, sorry to break the news to you. If you're a Christian watching this, sorry to break the news to you, whether you're gonna believe it or not, but good and evil do not exist. Alright, all good and evil is a perspective. Alright, that's all it is, a perspective. The only reason you think anything good is good and anything evil is so-called evil is because somebody put that into your head. Alright, just like everything else can be programmed, your mind can be programmed. Just like a computer or a cell phone is just a artificial version of your brain, and it can be programmed. Your brain is the real technology. Your brain is the real computer, and it can be programmed as well. Alright, so the only reason you think that is because you have been programmed to believe a certain thing, and for your brain to be operating in a certain mind frame. Alright, so the reason why I say it's only a perspective is because you got to look at it like this. Alright, if somebody is drowning, right, in water, if somebody's drowning in water, do you call the water evil when water also hydrates you when you in need of, when you dehydrated and you about to die of thirst? Water saves your life. But if you have too much water, or if you stay on the water too long, it's going to take your life. Alright, so is water good or evil? Alright, the answer is it's neither. It's just your experience with it and your perspective. Alright, everybody has their own experiences with everything that they do. Alright, so I'm not gonna tell nobody what to do. Alright, because I don't like doing that. But what I am gonna say is, you should not judge people off of what you perceive as good and evil, because at the end of the day, that's your perspective, and at the end of the day, people gonna live their own lives, and everybody gonna have their own experiences. Alright, so what you think is good, it might not be what I think is good. What you think is evil might not be what I think is evil. Now, everybody has so-called good and evil inside of them. Alright, but it's really not good and evil. It's just light and dark. Basically, it's just light and dark. Alright, you can get out here and be a positive person all day and all night, however long you want. Alright, but at the end of the day, if somebody walk up to you and disrespect you in any kind of way, or just smack the shit out you for no reason, you gonna show that dark side. Alright, you gonna show that dark side. And if you don't, then at the end of the day, you gonna go home feeling down about yourself because you just let that happen, and you was too busy trying to be a positive person, and then it's gonna eat you up inside because you feel like you don't have no courage within yourself. Alright, and then say if you don't even feel like that. Alright, say if you go home and you still in a high vibration after you just got smacked the shit out of for no reason, and you didn't do nothing. Alright, at the end of the day, that's not good, because you're not balanced. Alright, it's the reason we have duality down here and on this third dimension, and the reason why we have light and dark is because so we can tap into whatever works. Alright, the right hand path and the left hand path does not truly exist. Alright, it's, you got to use whatever works, because down here in the third dimension we have duality. Alright, so at the end of the day, you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do regardless. What people don't understand is it's not about being good or evil. It's about your intentions behind whatever you do. All right, behind whatever you do, you have to have pure intentions. All right. So if somebody smacked the shit out you, right, and say you wanna hit them back, or you wanna get them later, and you wanna do some, you wanna send something at them, like with some type of magic or something like that to defend yourself. That's perfectly fine because you have the right to defend yourself. All right, you cannot look at everything that's so-called negative or low vibrational as something bad, and your intentions are pure with it, because as long as your intentions are pure and you have a reason behind it, then it's honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that. So good and evil is just a perspective. It's all about your intentions behind what you're doing. And the last point I'm gonna make is people always wonder why, if there's a so-called creator or higher self or God or whatever you believe in watching this, and you believe that if there's some type of God or higher being and power, then why does all this bad stuff happen? All this bad stuff happens because you have to understand light. You have to have dark. There would be no dark. There would be no light if it wasn't for dark, and it wouldn't be no dark if it was just light. All right, just like what would cold be without hot? All right, that's the point of duality. You have to have both, and you have to experience both to truly know and understand and appreciate the other. All right, so people evolve themselves through light, aka the right hand path, or people can evolve through darkness or the left hand path, or just through suffering. All right, because suffering does help you evolve. All right, you cannot look at everything that's going so-called bad or evil in your life and try to escape it. All right, because all that evil is doing right there is teaching you something, and you're supposed to learn from it, and through that pain and suffering you're supposed to come out better and stronger and with more lessons that you were supposed to learn from it. All right, so please don't try to run away from anything that you perceive as bad, and just accept it how it is and learn from the situation, because once you try to escape and run from that, then the problems is, well, so-called problems, but the lesson is just going to keep showing up and repeating in your life worse and worse and worse until you learn your lesson from it. All right, so you might as well learn your lesson from the first time that the creator, source, or God, whatever, your higher self is trying to show you. And if it wasn't meant to be happening, it simply wouldn't be happening. All right, so that goes to show you right there, whatever you're going through, whatever hardships you're going through in life, you can get through it. All right, it's not about it being good or bad. It's about it trying to show you something, and the intentions of this pain being in your life. You got to look at even the situations in your life have intentions. All right, somebody could have came up to you and gave you some money, and then gave you a hug, and just gave you some random advice and told you everything was going to be all right. All right, so that's a situation where a situation in your life or a day in your life had good intentions. Or you can have a day where your car broke down, you got beat the shit out of, and you ended up homeless for a week. All right, that situation right there was not supposed to come into your life and hurt you. That was supposed to come in your life and make you better, stronger, and more appreciative of what you do have. All right, so that's it on my perspective on good and evil. As long as spiritual, I'm gone.